Welcome back to Quinny Connection. Thanks for joining us. Hope you're well and safe out there. Well, coming up on the show, we have another Belleville Memories segment with Connie Carson. A bit more about singer Jeanette Arsenault with what she's got cooking. But joining us now from the Prince Edward County Community Care for Seniors is Laura McGugan, the coordinator, but in this capacity with our pedestrian safety campaign we're promoting, she's a co-chair of the Senior Support Action Team. So Laura, so great to have you back on the program. Thanks so much for taking the time.
Thank you, Lindsay. Great to be back.
Walk us through kind of your role as a co-chair of the Senior Support Action Team. Where does this fit within everything?
So every municipality is required to have a community safety well-being plan. And so every community, when they are developing these plans, and this has been asked by the province of Ontario that every municipality have one, looks at what are the areas that are, maybe have gaps and barriers, what needs focus on. So we actually in the county have 5 priority areas that we're looking at. So one would be housing and homelessness. We also have a mental health and problematic substance use action team. We also have a poverty roundtable or poverty reduction. We also have a domestic violence and sexual assault action team as well. So there are a lot of components. And then the 5th one is the Senior Support Action Team. And we're all looking at different areas of where we can make the community a safer area, and also just looking at the gaps and barriers that may be in place, preventing people from getting services and living in a safe community. But I mean, Prince Edward County is pretty safe, so we're in a good position right now.
So within the pedestrian safety campaign, does this happen every year? Is this kind of a new initiative focused on seniors?
This is a new initiative. It was something that when we were looking at areas that we would like to support seniors with, this was something that did come up, pedestrian safety, also with a focus on mobility scooters and devices that people use within the community to get around in the community. So we look at fraud, as that's a big topic that affects seniors within our community, and also pedestrian safety. So this is actually a new campaign, first time that has launched, and we're very excited about it.
How long is this going to run, Laura?
Technically we would like to see it move forward, ongoing, but right now we just have funding that will last until end of March. But we are looking at different ways to continue to keep the word out there, because it is something people just need those little reminders. And in rural communities, it's important that you are smart, seen when you're out and about in the community.
Is there going to be pop-up activities? Is there going to be safety gear available? How's it going to work throughout this campaign?
So we have reflective gear that we are handing out. So the reflective gear could be a safety vest. We have sashes. We also have dog collars that are LED. We have some arm reflective bands, and also some mobility flags for scooters as well as bicycles, and some reflective gear for bicycles as well. And we're handing them out at the different branches of the Prince Edward County Libraries and here at our office on 74 King Street. So it's while supplies last. You just drop in, ask for an item that you would like to have, and we're happy to hand it out. Plus, anybody who receives reflective gear will also receive a RAT card that has a lot of great information and reminders about, when you're driving, when you're walking, when you're out and about, the different ways people are moving around the town now with e-bikes and bicycles and all that. So, and mobility scooters. So there's a lot of great information just to remind people, this is how we're supposed to be out on the streets and what we should be watching for and doing.
I find a lot of us, now that we're kind of out and about a bit more, kind of forget basic things, right? I mean, going to downtown Picton, hitting the crosswalk, making sure it flashes before you cross the street, a very busy section of Prince Edward County. What other things do you have to be mindful of, Laura, especially this time of year, pedestrian-wise?
Yeah. Well, definitely this time of year, because it gets dark very quickly, like earlier, obviously, we need to make sure that we are being seen if we're out walking on the streets. I mean, yes, a lot of the neighborhoods in Picton do have sidewalks, they're well lit, but then there is the rural component. You know, I'll be driving along County Road 1, people are walking, you want to make sure you're walking in the right direction, with traffic or with against traffic, depending on what mode of transportation you are using. And so it's making sure you're seen, doing the proper things. You mentioned the crosswalk. In Picton, well, as a driver, if you're waiting for that person to go across the crosswalk, you don't necessarily have to wait for the lights to stop. But what you do have to do is make sure that that person is on the curb, like they have stepped onto the curb and now we're going on the sidewalk before you proceed as a driver. And people don't often think about that. They just think, oh, the person's out of my way and now I can go.
Under this pedestrian safety campaign umbrella, Laura, will you and the team kind of give recommendations to Prince Edward County Council as to what you're hearing from residents as this kind of awareness continues?
Oh, definitely. That is part of the CSWB, all the action teams and part of the plan. We have the action teams that are doing the work, doing campaigns, getting the community educated on some of the things that are happening. And then there is a advisory working group that will report to the OPP detachment board, who eventually will report to council as to what action teams are doing, what we're seeing as gaps, barriers, our successes, our challenges. So there's lots going on, and a lot of people still don't know about the community safety wellbeing plans, just because they are fairly new. And with COVID, you know, some of the plans had to slow down and weren't really able to action some of the items they wanted to. But we're now back doing the work and really excited to see how we can really support the community and make it a safer, inclusive area.
The big plans that seem to make headlines, you know, park and recreation plans, of course, budgets, operating budgets, and everything else like that. But why does the community safety well-being plan matter, especially for a municipality?
It matters because what they're hoping is that there will be a reduction in calls to police services, trying to make communities more preventative, safer, and just creating that wellness and community resiliency, and not always relying on some of the major, you know, like the in Prince Edward County, it's the OPP, not always calling them for services when things come up. And so it is part of what the plan with the Ontario government was to help police services see a reduction in certain calls that they were encountering and what's been going on. So that's why there's the action teams. We've picked our priorities and we're moving forward with it.
Well, as the old saying goes, it's all about being proactive rather than reactive. Once again, Laura McGugan, thanks so much for taking the time. Anything else you want to add with this? Is there going to be like a website and a social media campaign we can look out for?
Actually, you can go on the Prince Edward County Municipal website, and if you just type in CSWB, if you can't remember the entire name of the plan, and you'll actually be able to see things that are going on. It actually just launched last week, this page specific to the plan. So there will certainly be more updates moving forward in the next few days and weeks, but there is a website that people can go to see what is happening within the community.
Thanks, Laura. Really appreciate it. Good luck to you and the team, and take care.
Thanks, Lindsay.